This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications. This is KHQA. It's your news now.
Well, this is Saturday, October the 18th, and you have entered overtime on what has been a truly incredible Saturday. We crowned a local state champion today. We saw a couple of incredible, unbelievable golf shots on the state stage in both Normal and Decatur, and we had improbable comebacks in college football. Just a wow kind of day. We even had wedding bells tonight, so with your indulgence, a hearty congratulations to the inimitable Reno Pinkston and his lovely new bride, Mary, on tying the knot today. But let us start our Tri-State Sports Odyssey tonight with the quest for softball immortality. As those plucky Canton Lady Tigers tried to book passage to the Final Four in a tough quarterfinal showdown in Columbia today with Jamestown, our Will Wilson was there and has all the details.
Hello, Springfield. A 7-0 triumph over Jamestown today, and the Canton Lady Tigers are off to the semifinals in search of a state crown.
I always dreamed about this, and now that it's here, I just can't believe it. The feeling, like I can't describe it. It's so amazing. And the way we did it, we played awesome, and everyone hit the ball well, and we played good defense, and that's all I could ask for.
Unbelievably amazing. There's no words to describe it, really. You just have to be there to know what it feels like.
It is great. It is great to win this game, especially knowing that we're going to state. But in the beginning, it was really nerve-wracking, but we just had to believe the whole time.
Oh, I'm super proud. We couldn't have worked any harder. We've worked all season to get to this point, and we made the Final Four. I'm so excited.
Today's win not only punched Canton's trip to state, but it showed just how dominant of a team they are. The Lady Tigers haven't surrendered a run in the opening round or quarterfinals and have driven in 15 of their own. It's their bats and defense that's paved their way, especially the quality pitching from Olivia Jarvis.
I've been playing with Olivia my whole life. I always have confidence in her. She's my best friend. Playing with her is like, without playing with her, it's weird. So we really have a good connection. So she does great every time she pitches, and she does give us a lot of confidence, and we're just there to back her up.
I lost track of how many strikeouts she had and how many, ground balls she was able to force them into. And, just the fact that she's able to get nailed with a ball and continue with the play, that just shows her character.
They're tougher than any girl I've ever met. I think they can just keep on going through anything. Haven't fell yet, and we're just going to keep on going.
The defense behind me is, they're so encouraging. Every pitch, they pick me up when I get out, when I'm hitting, or if I throw a bad pitch or something, they pick me up all the time. So that's really encouraging.
It continues to remain clear why these girls keep on winning. Contributions from freshmen down the line to seniors have thrown out any weak link. Their mindset isn't made up to think they can win. They know they can and have confidence in each other.
We just have this thing, word is belief, and we always are thinking we can hit this ball. No one goes up there thinking, oh, I'm, a little cautious right now. We all are just aggressive, and we just hit the ball, and we just can always see the ball and just cream it.
I think that we're going to need to keep working hard, and I think that we just need to keep believing, and we'll get there.
This is state, but it's still just a game, and we have to imagine that this is just any other game that we are playing.
They're a great group of girls, and every day I learn from them, and they're all skilled in the game of softball. And so I can take something from them from every game and every practice.
We just need to keep working, keep believing, keep doing exactly what we're doing, and just keep the dream alive. Without our fan support, without our community, we wouldn't be where we are today. These girls have so much support behind them. They've supported us the whole way, and I can't ask any more of them. It's fantastic.
In Columbia with the state-bound Lady Tigers, Will Wilson, KHQA Sports.
That means road trip on Thursday to the fine town of Springfield. 1 o'clock start against Jefferson. Ironically enough, a team that Canton met back in the 2008 semifinals. That was a game that Canton lost 15-3. We'll look for better coming up on Thursday as we make the long road trip. Looking forward to that. Those girls are an awful lot of fun to watch. The news not so good for Bowling Green, which really had a nice run of it today. Some great pitching again today. Portageville a little too strong on their own home digs today. They end the Bobcats' phenomenal run. 1-0 was your final. How about more quarterfinal action for you today? Centralia, three-time defending state champs, dropped down to Class 2 this year, taking on Westphalia Fatima. Boy, this was an interesting and strange turn of events. Second inning, Sammy Bunch, the 2-run double, part of a 6-run frame for Fatima at that point. Things would get worse for Centralia. Bunch again, this time another 2-run job of the single variety, extends the lead out to 8-1. And Michaela Busher going to work right here. Oh my goodness. Home run off the scoreboard, no less. Fatima sends Centralia back home and into the basketball season. Final count in this one was 9-1. Very shocking result there. Unfortunate result to pass along today from soccer as well. Great late season charge from the Macomb Bombers, but they are taken out today by a very good Monroe's team. Grant Hannett had one goal for the Bombers. The other was an own goal in that one. Still, given all they've been through the course of this fall, Macomb should hold their heads up high. Really a nice finish to what has been a very, very tough season for them. Well, after getting off to a rough 6-over-par start on the front nine at the State 2A Golf Tournament on Friday, Quincy Notre Dame's Drew Eaton pulled it all back together and played the back nine at the Wybring Golf Club in even par yesterday. It's a feat made all the more impressive in the fact that Drew is playing with a horrible shoulder ailment that has sapped much of his usual strength and power and leaves him in pain. His reward for sticking it out, a chance to play in the Glamour Final Foursome today and put the finishing touches he hoped on a top 10 finish, or even better than that. Drew doing work today. Off to a fantastic start. His best hole, the first hole, he short-sided his approach after a perfect drive here on number one. But that's when the magic begins. Check this out. No need for the putter. Drew Eaton, bang, his only birdie of the day, and it was fantastic. Chip in to loud applause. He started well and scrambled a little bit on hole number two. By the way, class act. The entire Q&D team showed up, followed Drew all the way around, just like they were playing as a team today. Great stuff there. Drew trying to get up and down on number two. Great chip shot there to give him 6 feet, and then just the tenuous birdie putt, the par putt, which he knocks down and saves right there. More magic with the short game from Drew coming up right here. Oh, this is Dave Pels-like right there. Beautiful stuff right there as he nearly chips it again. Saves par on the difficult par fourth hole right there. Par 3, fourth hole, I should say. Drew Eaton fires a 75 on the day. That gets him a 9th place finish overall. Fantastic work, and considering the fact that Drew, again, was playing at about half strength, pretty darn impressive stuff for him as well. One other golf note to pass along on the boys' side of things. The Pittsfield Sockies wrap up a really nice season. They finished 12th on the boys' side over at Prairie Vista, leading the way for the Sockies over the course of the last 2 days. A combined effort of Peter Greening and Jonah Molesky. Those two gentlemen showing out nicely. Let's take you over to Red Tail Run in Decatur. You, my friends, are looking at Lauren Fry. She played just a stroke off of what she played yesterday when she was in 10th place, fired an 82 today, which was good for 163, good for a tie of 15th place. Dakota Limpkeman, meanwhile, you're looking at her now, very steady on the front nine, 8 pars, 1 bogey, as she seemed to have the flat stick working very, very well. Had some trouble at the beginning of the back nine and then needed something special to happen, and boy, would she deliver that in a major way. We're going to cut ahead to hole number 16, and it gets no more special than that for Dakota Limpkeman, playing her last round of high school competitive golf today. 79 yards out, she says she measured it, took the 52-degree wedge, and absolutely slam dunked this from 79 yards out. Boom! Yeah, you can hear the gallery go nuts, and as well they should have. Big hug from Mom, who made the suggestion to go to the 52-degree wedge at some point during the course of the round. Said hit it a little further because Dakota was leaving things short. I tell you what, that worked out magnificently. That's an eagle, by the way, kids, which gave her a 74 in the day, tied for low round. Also, she finished 5th, grabbing a medal as well. Dakota Limpkeman on the shot of a lifetime.
When I got up to my ball, I was 79 yards out, and I have a club that goes about 70. There's a little wind behind us, so I pulled it out and I wiped it off. And I said, okay, I'm just going to be short because that's fine to leave it short on this hole and just get away with the par. And then for some reason, I decided to pull out my 52-degree and just grip down a little and take a 3/4 swing, and it worked. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'd say that was awesome indeed. Let's talk a little tennis today. It's going to be awesome to see Unity's Nikita Berger over at State. She ends up finishing 2nd in the Springfield sectional in the singles today, winning her semifinal 6-1, 6-2, dropping her championship game match. I believe it was 6-4, 6-0 there, but great job for Nikita representing her school and doing it well. Quincy Notre Dame also going to be represented at State by their outstanding doubles tandem of Abby Moore and Olivia Tracy, who finished 4th in the sectional as well. Congratulations to those two young ladies on punching their ticket as well. Finally, one other note to pass along on the postseason front. We now have Missouri district pairings. They came out tonight on the Misha website. Let's start you off in Class 1, District 1, top half of the bracket, obviously. All eyes on Valley, the powerhouse to beat. Monroe City will open at home against Louisiana on Friday night. They're on the same side of the bracket as Mark Twain, their former Clarence Cannon Conference foes, now in the EMO. So a couple of good games. Monroe City, Mark Twain will be favored to both win their openers. Louisiana winless on the season. If they get through there, somebody will likely get a crack at Valley, and that's really all you can ask. In Class 1, District 5, it will be the Battle of South Shelby, or Battle of Shelby County, I should say. North at South to start things off. Paris, costly losses down the stretch, will have to go on the road to Putnam County. On the other side of the bracket, Milan will host Schuyler. And at the other side of the bracket, Knox County, who's red hot of late, gets to host Scotland County in Class 1 as well. Class 2, kind of an interesting bracket. Highland just picked up their first win of the season, and they've played pretty well down the stretch. They'll be at Bowling Green to start things off. A rematch between Van Far, Clopton, and Aylesbury. That was an excellent game the first time around. On the top half of the bracket, Montgomery County will travel to North Callaway, and Clark County travels to Palmyra. That should be interesting as well. Up in Class 4, District 7, Hannibal will be at home, not against the opponent we originally expected. It will be Kirksville. If Hannibal wins that, they likely get another shot at the Mexico team they had to rally to beat in the fourth quarter earlier this year. Helias, obviously the dominant team in that bracket coming in. They're on the top side. So if Hannibal wants to advance deep into the postseason, they're going to have to beat the Crusaders, something they could not do the first time around. And again, we're looking forward to next Friday, district playoff action in Missouri football. Does it get any better than that? Hey, we've got plenty more coming your way, including unbelievable doings today up in Macomb for Western Illinois and Illinois State, plus a state championship to tell you about coming up next.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
And welcome back to Overtime, everybody. Last weekend's upset victory at nationally ranked Youngstown State had the opportunity to be a true game changer for the Western Illinois football program. It was the red letter victory that the Leathernecks had not had under new coach Bob Nielsen, and it set the tale for WIU to vault back into Valley viability, especially if the Necks could back it up with a second straight top 25 win. That opportunity today against the number 9 team in the nation, Illinois State. WIU already up 10-6 in this one, threatening more, but a red zone mishap right here as Trenton Norvell gets hit, popped, the ball comes loose, and the Redbirds would recover and kind of stymie things. Fortunately for Western Illinois, in the first half, the defense had the offense's back in this one. How about Chip Holschlag, the former Quincy Notre Dame star, standing up strong in the end, snuffing things out, forcing the punt eventually as Western would take, hey, there it is. There's the Chip Holschlag fan club there. Trent Norvell would take back over, and this time he's going to throw one right into your living room here, hooking up with Lance Lenore on the first of 2 touchdown receptions for that young man. This one of 29 yards. Western's lead extended out to 17-6. ISU backed up into its own end for the rest of the first half. The defense from Western stout and taking advantage of takeaways. David McDaniel going to be Johnny on the spot for this one, scooping it up, recovering, and that sets up yet another touchdown as Western, behind Devin Moore, extends its lead out to 24-6. The next would lead by as many as 21 points in the second half in this one. Then you got 21 unanswered points from Illinois State. Western retakes the lead. Illinois State comes back and ties it, and then Illinois State wins it, unfortunately, on a field goal at the end of a regulation. If you are a Neck fan, that is a horrible, crushing loss for you. Final count in this one, 37-34. Tough way to lose a ball game that looked to be won at numerous points during the course of the afternoon. Elsewhere today, break up the Hawks. Another big win. This may be the red letter win that Tom Pagic was looking for over a St. Joseph's team that was 5-1 coming in. Chris Harris scored another touchdown. He's got a touchdown in every game rushing this season, 13 total thus far on the season. News not so good for Culver Stockton, losing to nationally ranked Mo Valley. Central Methodist loses to Graceland today. Tyler Steinkamp out of Mark Twain, 2 more touchdowns to his tally. Illinois College getting it done today. What a huge day from Michael Bates. 4 touchdowns on the day, 3 of them passing. Good start, 4 of them passing, I should say, from Bates, who threw for 324. Defense played really well as well today. Speaking of defense, Brown County's finest showing out today for Monmouth in a win over Lake Forest. Alex Sheppy with a pick-6 interception to start the scoring. Also, Jacob Wilson, the pride of Brown County, his 15th career interception. He is now the Scots' new all-time leader. And speaking of locals doing good today, how about Coy Dorothy, the former West Hancock outstanding quarterback, showing out for McMurray today in a win at Eureka. 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and 309 yards through the air. That's a pretty darn good day of work. High school football now. Modern day of Breeze taking on Macomb. The Bombers off to an inauspicious start in this one. Opening kickoff. This is Josh Haberer, and he's not going to be stopped even by a very blatant face mask at that point. He's in for the score before you could blink. Macomb would answer, though, immediately. The very speedy Trey Augusta gets on it, hits the accelerator, and he's gone. Great stuff there. The Macomb defense trying to build off that. Here it's Jacob Poor, the quarterback, can play a little DB, and Derek Blowers getting the big-time stop. Unfortunately for the Bombers, Brady Rakers is going to take it in from there. Tackling was spotty at times for the Bombers, and this was one of those spots Kelly Sears didn't appreciate it. Brady Rakers going in right there. However, we had more Macomb goodness coming up. Jacob Poor, career passing day today, going to find Lucas Van Natten on the inside slat to make it 15-all. Unfortunately for the Bombers, that would be as close as it would get the rest of the way. The Bombers get beaten pretty severely today by the final count in this one of 50-29, which brings us now to our latest Con Communication connection. It is indeed high school football, and it was a good one last night, courtesy of the Illini West Chargers. Let's take you back to what was one of the best punt returns you will ever see, courtesy of Nolan Ard, and you can go Ard or you can go home. Ard not only getting a sensational punt return right here, check out the block he's about to get from Dusty Waddell coming up right here. That springs him and frees him, or sprees him, if you want to make it one word. Fantastic stuff, and what another great nominee in what has already been a sensational month. Again, one more look at Nolan Ard's goodness on this one as he takes it to the house and gets the job done. Illini West with a big-time win over their arch rivals from across the county. Dusty Waddell, tell you what, Nolan Ard probably owes you a steak for that block as well. Make sure he pays up on that. Good stuff indeed. The rest of your nominees so far this month, good ones as well. The immaculate reception between Nolan Bright and Jace Glover. Taryn Ritter's wonderful juggling interception from Monroe City and a big-time home run from Hope Miller, the first of her varsity career, already on the board. One more nominee for you coming up next week before we go to the voting at the end of the month. Some high school scores to pass along quickly now. Boys regular season soccer, Troy hands Quincy High a loss today. 1-0 was your final there. The Hannibal soccer team with a big-time win. Jack Richards leading the way with a goal there. At the Patriot Invite in cross country today, the Ogden girls are your winner. Over 315 runners on both sides today. The Macomb girls, your local standouts today, but your local individual winner, or at least your highest local individual finisher on the girls' side, was Carly Garnett of Illini West. She finished 8th. Carla Mendoza of Macomb and Ashley Plum of Macomb, both with top 15 finishes as well. On the boys' side today, the Macomb boys, your top finisher on the day in 10th place. Liberty with a good showing, and Rushville Industry as well. Your top local, Marquis Anthony of Macomb, finishing 36th. Also, Cameron Brock of Macomb finished 46th, and Lucas Boer of Liberty finished 52nd. I want to pass along a couple of volleyball scores as well. West Hancock up at the Bushnell tournament today goes 3-2 on the day, beating Havana to close out their day. Unity with a nice showing in volleyball as well, finishing in 2nd place at the Sherrard tournament, losing to Kiwani, who's very, very good in the championship game there as well. And as I promised, coming up next, your newly crowned Tri-State state champion. I'm ready for Okay. I'll try to keep it. Hey, by the way, this is Seeds of Greatness Stinger. Well, it is time now for our latest Seeds of Greatness offering, which is our look into the future of Tri-State sports. The kids who have next. And not since Caitlin Bostert was dominating at Carthage has our area produced as promising a cross-country talent as Liberty's young Caitlin Robbins. Now, last year as a 7th grader, she won her first IESA state title, and today she was back in Normal to defend and perhaps help her teammates to grab a state trophy as well.
Seeds of Greatness brought to you by Burris Hybrids.
Oh, we pick it up bright and early today down at the park and out of the gates, gate number 18, Caitlin Robbins and company doing work. She said she was nervous today, expecting to be challenged by a pair of outstanding twins out of Christ the King in Springfield. Those would be the Tornell twins, but they were no match for Caitlin today. Just absolutely dominating. You see the first of the two twins way back in her rearview mirror. Here she's coming up with a little less than a quarter mile to go, and she was absolutely flying. She was a little disappointed in herself because she wanted to set a new meet record. She did not get that opportunity, but 11:11 was good enough to win and place on the boys' side almost, you know, so she was fantastic on the girls' side. She finished in first place and won her second straight state championship. Her teammate, Kayla Wellman of Liberty, finished 23rd. Whitney Parkhill, also of Liberty today, finished 45th. So Liberty on the girls' side doing pretty darn well for themselves, finishing 6th as a team. On the boys' side, the Liberty boys did very, very well indeed, led by Jordan Nyson, I should say, who finished 35th, and Landon Obert, who finished 28th. And I don't want to forget Knowlton Klingel, who ended up finishing 56th. The boys end up with a 5th place finish as well. So no surprise, the future of cross country and Liberty, as always, fantastic. Congratulations to Caitlin. Outstanding job, young lady. Job fantastically done. Let's move on. Check a couple of quick college scores for you before we get out of here tonight. Soccer today, a split for Culver Stockton. The women with a big-time win over Mid-America Nazarene. Nationally ranked on the men's side, however, Mid-America Nazarene beats Culver 3-1. And in volleyball today, QU fells Ashland 3-1. We'll have more overtime for you coming up after this. Okay. Let's just get out. I'll do it for 30. Famous Jameis won. Not that I really cared one direction or another on this game, but ooh. Well, that's it for me, kids. The tank has officially hit empty, but up since 5. It was well worth it, though, today. Congratulations to Caitlin and Canton and Drew and Dakota and Lauren and who else we got? The Macomb soccer team. Lots of great work here. Even busier week to come as we get it all geared up with football, more soccer, volleyball starting up. It's going to be a blast. We'll see you right back here on Monday for all of it. Until then, enjoy the wrestling.